Okay, I got to close the door here with the dogs.
Okay, I think we are live. Thank you, Ronan, for hitting the go button. Whatever it is that you do back there. Good morning and happy Monday. And for all of those that celebrated Mother's Day yesterday, cheers to all the moms in the world. Someone posted the best post, I thought, over the last week yesterday. I don't know who posted it, or I'd give them credit, is that mothers are the most essential workers of today's and maybe any day's society. And I couldn't agree more. So we had a great Mother's Day here with our immediate family. And I hope everybody else out there that either is a mother or has a mother also was able to celebrate. So today, well, before I get into everything, I should probably introduce who I am and introduce my co-host. So my name is Brian Williams. I am the founder of a company called realappointments.com. We basically set real qualified sales appointments for other business professionals and business owners in a variety of different industries. And let me introduce my co-host, Ronan. Ronan, there you are. Good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you on this fine Monday morning?
Good. I'm excited. You know, Monday is the first day of a week of opportunity.
Indeed, it is. And for you, apparently, you're able to go out and get your first haircut in a while.
Yes, tomorrow 2:30. So there will be less of me on Wednesday morning.
I think I might show up in line to get a haircut this week. I don't know, just to amuse people. So
trim the Van Dyke.
Maybe they could, buff it up or something. I don't know.
Get a nice shine on it.
It's pretty. I've been told I have one of the shiniest heads people have seen. So
that's because you're so bright.
Is that what it is? Hold on, let me turn my distractions off. I got to put my phone on.
Same here.
Do not disturb. Come on, baby. There we go. Love the do not disturb on the phone. One of my favorite tools on the phone.
Well, okay, so I just want to remind everybody that we are here today to deliver some very valuable information. And if you have any questions as we go through this, put them in the comments. I'll be watching. We'll get the questions up there. We'll get it answered. We've got some great content for you today. Brian, what do we got going on?
Okay, this is arguably my favorite topic, my favorite marketing and sales thing to talk about, and that is market to message match. And the reason it's my favorite is because so many businesses, so many professionals, just by implementing what I'm going to teach today, can accelerate their marketing and certainly accelerate their ability to get qualified sales appointments. And so it's something I have been implementing in my businesses and my clients' businesses for decades, and it's so often overlooked. And so it's something that if you're not doing it, just go along with me for the next 15 minutes, get something to write with, take some notes, and certainly ask questions in the comments wherever you happen to be watching from. I think we're streaming on YouTube in a couple places, Facebook in a few places, possibly LinkedIn. So, all right, let's get rolling. So what in the world is a market to message match in the first place? It's very simple. Your market is who you are marketing to. It's the person or the people that you want to get your message in front of. Quite simply, that's market. Your message, oddly enough, is what it is that you will communicate. And that message can come in a variety of different forms, right? It can come in the form of a social media post, an email message, a text message, a video, a television commercial, a radio commercial, a print advertisement. There's a variety of different ways that we have at our disposal today and have for a long time on how to get our message out there. So what we want to create is the perfect match between who, your market, and what your message is going on. And I can't stress enough how often there's a mismatch, a complete mismatch, or it's so vague or ethereal that the person you really want to reach, you're not reaching because your message isn't clear enough to them. It's not specific enough. It's not pulling on the triggers and the emotion behind what will motivate that individual or the people in that market to want to communicate with you. You may have heard the term niche or niche, depending on where you're from in the world, marketing, right? This is kind of in line with that, but I'm going to give you a formula here in just a moment on how you can create your perfect market to message match. And once again, if you're listening here live, please take advantage of the fact that I am here willing and able to help you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let's get them addressed while we're here together. Okay, so let's go into, I was going to go into the formula. Before I do that, I'm going to switch gears a little bit, right? We're live. I'm in control. Hold on to your seats. Let me show you an example, okay? I'm going to go into LinkedIn, and I'm just going to show you one or two examples of how this market to message match can manifest itself. So let's look at my friend and client's LinkedIn profile, Joe Kennemore. Now, Joe runs a few different.
Can you share the screen? Share your screen.
Oh, thank you. See, then that's where having a co-host and having a Ronan on your team really helps. Hold on, because I totally forgot to do that. Let's share screen number 2, I think it is. And are you seeing Joe's profile now?
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you. All right. There's another tip, totally unrelated to this particular topic. Have a co-host when you're presenting, especially virtually. Okay, so here's Joe's LinkedIn profile. Now, Joe runs a couple different businesses. One of them happens to be a really, really cool, awesome production company. They produce large in-person events, or at least they used to before COVID-19. It's starting to pick up again, but like events that have like 1,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, right? They do all the staging, the lighting, the videography, the pyrotechnics, all kinds of crazy stuff. And one of their markets happens to be technology companies. So if you read right below Joe's name here, this is an example of how a perfect market to message match comes together. So I'm going to start with the end in mind, and then we're going to go back and I'm going to give you a formula for creating one of these for yourself. So I'll read Joe's just in case it's small. You might be looking at this from your iPhone or something. Joe's headline reads, stress-free live events and video production for the most prestigious technology companies in the world. Now, if you work for the entertainment, education, human resource department, a vice president of marketing or what have you, or sales in a prestigious technology company, or you think you work for a prestigious marketing company and you have an event coming up or need to produce an event, this message will resonate with you. You're likely to take a conversation with Joe, right? And Joe went even further and actually hit on an emotional or pain point that a lot of these people have in producing these types of events. If you've never produced an event on any level, for that matter, let alone a large scale, they can be quite stressful, right? If you've ever been married, that's a stressful event for some people to produce, right? In my family, we've had a couple of bar and bat mitzvahs, an Eagle Scout Court of Honor. Every event has its own stress involved, right? So he is hitting on a pain point that he knows his clients all have, which is stress when it comes to these events. Okay, so let's go back, and I'm going to keep sharing my screen here, Ronan, and share with you a formula right out of our workbook. We produce an event ourselves called Guaranteed Sales Appointments, and this is an exercise we go through in our workshops. We're actually doing a version of this, a mini version of this, this Friday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's completely free if you want to join us, where we're going to take a deep dive on how to get your next sales appointment. So if you're interested in participating in that, like I said, it's totally free. Ronan, if you would show the link, I think it's guaranteedsalesappointments.com. You can register, but let me show you this formula. So here it is. The formula reads like this, and you can write this down, take a screenshot, whatever helps. It's industry, market segment, ideal prospect, reason, or pain point. Those are the 4 components in helping develop your perfect market to message match. So let me take you through the process. Number 1 is industry. Pick an industry. Healthcare is an industry, right? Sports is an industry. Entertainment is an industry. Hospitality could be an industry. There's lots of them, right? IT, technology is an industry. Marketing could be marketing and advertising could be an industry. So pick an industry that has a lot of market segments in it, an industry that you participate in, right? An industry you sell into or offer products or services into. That should not be difficult for you to do. Okay, most of us deal in one industry, maybe two. Okay, but this is a lot of opportunity, trillions and trillions of dollars of business. Now, narrow it down just a bit for me and pick a segment, right? Every industry has hundreds, if not thousands, even tens of thousands of individual segments, okay? And so what's the segment that you want to play with, right? And look, I get the fact that all of us have products and services, for the most part, that can serve in multiple market segments within an industry. Okay, we certainly do. And I'm sure you do too, and that's fine. But for this exercise, I want you to pick one market segment. So let's say we're in healthcare, pick a segment within healthcare. Maybe it's weight loss, or maybe it's something in holistic health or children's health, or who knows, right? Just pick a segment for now. Now, after you've done that, I want you to think of an individual that you want to have an appointment with that is in that market segment. Okay, who in the segment, the specific person that do you want to meet with? What is their job title? Do they own a business or not? If they don't own the business, what position do they hold within the business? How big of a company do they work for? Think of the individual, right, in your mind of who you would love to have that ideal sit down with, or phone appointment with, or Zoom appointment with. We're all having Zoom appointments now. Who is that individual? Think of that person and write down how you would describe that person. Are they the vice president of sales? Are they the owner? Are they the head of human resources? Who are they? Okay, within that segment. And then the thing that really will differentiate you from probably 90% of your competition is, what problem are you going to solve for them? What pain are you going to relieve for them? What desire are you going to fulfill for them? Right? I'm just giving you different ways of thinking about this. And going back to the example I showed you with Joe Kennemore, the pain that he is solving for them, or is relieving for him, is the stress-free live events, right? So that's how he described it. And everybody that is in his segment and his ideal prospects, they get that. So what is it that your ideal prospect will get? That, oh my gosh, if they can solve that for me, oh my gosh, if they can fulfill that desire for me, I want to have a conversation with that individual. And that's how you begin the process of developing your perfect market to message match. You can bring me back on full screen here, Mr. Ronan Rahman. Look at that. That's cool. So there you go. That's a formula, and one example. I am happy to show you other examples, but look, I know that oftentimes, especially for us, type A entrepreneur personalities, of which I fall into that category. Believe me, I run 3 companies. I've been in business for myself for, I don't even know now, 12 years. I've been in an entrepreneurial position for my entire career, pretty much, except for when I worked for Toyota Corporation. And I have that type A entrepreneurial personality that immediately goes, well, wait a minute. If I just speak to one market segment and one individual within that segment, but I can sell to all these other people, aren't I limiting my ability to grow my company? And I get it. Okay, I truly do understand it. I've felt the same thing. If you're feeling that same thing, welcome to the club. Here's the point though. You can always pivot, right? Think of your market to message match as a campaign, right? If you're going to put an ad out there or a message out there, right? Speak to that one market segment, that one individual solving that one problem, or providing us the one desire that they want. You can always run a second campaign to a different market, solving maybe even a different problem. Okay, with your same company brand, with your same product or service, right? I mean, I'll give you an example I've used in the past. We all drive automobiles for various reasons. Well, most of us drive an automobile for various reasons, right? Some of us drive an automobile primarily to go to and from our place of work. Some of us drive an automobile because it's our job. We're an Uber driver or a truck driver or a delivery service person. Some of us drive an automobile because we're teenagers. I wish, not anymore. And we just want to go out and have fun with our friends and go visit places, right? There's all these different reasons why we drive a car, right? And some of us drive the same exact car as the other person that's doing something completely different with the same product. Okay. It's a different message for that individual than it was for me or for you. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. You can have the same product or service marketed to different people for different reasons and solving different problems. I see a question here. Any thoughts on framing it like a job title? That's what I see most on LinkedIn and where I go back and forth. Matt, I'm going to guess as to where I think you might be going. And maybe you can clarify what I'm suggesting. Specifically, I think what you're talking about here with LinkedIn is to not show your job title as any part of your headline. So I'm not sure if that answers or is going where you want to go, but maybe give me a little bit more clarity, and I want to help you here. And I'm assuming when you say you're going back and forth in what to actually create for yourself. So I'm happy to dive a little deeper. I know there's a bit of a delay here. There's like a 35-second delay when you're streaming on Facebook Live. So I'll give you just a moment to hear me and post a second comment to help clarify what it is you're specifically asking me. Anyway, so go ahead, Ronan.
Well, I was just going to say, generally the job title doesn't really communicate very much, especially if your job is not really reflective of that particular industry. Like you market to an industry, but you're not in that industry. So your job title doesn't necessarily mean anything to anyone when they look at it. Yeah. It may be the headline. It will be the headline that really grabs them. So here's
Matt's follow-up. This is perfect. So I didn't pay Matt to do this. I'm just saying tomorrow we actually have another training. It's called the 3-point power profile. And we're going to be covering this more in detail, Matt, and everyone else that's listening tomorrow. So tune in on that, but I will comment on this now. So yes, you are absolutely correct. When Joe communicates with you on LinkedIn, because he has this perfect market to message match headline, it is kind of like an advertisement in a way. It's not a overt advertisement, but it tells you immediately what he's about. It tells you immediately whether you should or maybe shouldn't respond or connect with Joe, because he has a specific mission right now with that particular campaign. And so we override the standard job title headline on LinkedIn and make it into something that matches the market that, in this case, Joe is looking for. And then he has another fault when I see.
Yeah. So the follow-up
question. When I see non-sales people on LinkedIn, the headline says something. Yeah, right, exactly. It's because they either don't know better, they don't know that they can change that. Because what LinkedIn will default to is they'll take the job title from the most recent job you have in your resume below, and they'll just default that as your headline. So you can override that. And we're going to show you how to do that tomorrow in tomorrow's training. I'm happy to, I'm not going to demo it today because we're running out of time here, but yes, that's correct. And how would I apply this to the business to consumer e-commerce markets? I love that question because one of the 3 companies that I run is a business to consumer e-commerce market in the e-commerce space. And so, again, I would use your whatever. I don't know if you have a product or a service, Stephen, that you sell through e-commerce. I'm assuming it's a product if you're selling it through e-commerce. So we'll assume that, as I do. And so then you would just identify the problem that your product solves or the solution that it provides. Who is your most ideal customer for that product? And I don't know what you sell, Stephen, so I'm not going to begin to guess. And call them out, right? Sometimes you can call them out by their something about their lifestyle. Okay. I'll give you an example. The product that I sell is for handgun owners. It's a training product, okay, for helping people improve their skills with a handgun. Okay, it's not a gun. It's an accessory. Okay, so when I call it out, I call them out. I say this is the best training home training solution for handgun owners. That would be a way I could use that formula, because I'm calling out my market. I'm calling out what my product does. And I could even go further and solve another pain point. I'm not going to get into those details, but you can use the same exact formula for a business to consumer.
Yeah.
So,
and Stephen, it has a product, not a service.
Yeah. E-commerce, typically you're going to have products. So it's a good time to be into e-commerce, Stephen. So if you ever want to hit me up, I'm happy. I love brainstorming with other e-commerce business owners about just what's going on. We've had a lot of success this year in our e-commerce business.
Yeah. And I would just close by letting everybody know that, the title, the headline that I have on my profile does a lot of the work for me.
That's right.
When I'm looking to get appointments with people, sometimes even before I can ask them for the appointment, I get the request to talk just based on the headline.
Yeah.
And so that's super powerful. It gets people's attention, and it is essentially the first thing that they see, one of the first things they see when they see your profile. So you got to make it matter.
So we're going to end today's short. We do these short trainings, are 15, 20 minutes each, weekday morning at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, if you want to dig deeper, we're actually going to be continuing on and talking about the most powerful parts of your LinkedIn and other social media profiles. If you want to go really deep with us, tune in this Friday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. You can sign up at guaranteedsalesappointments.com. It's completely free. We're going to take you through our entire workbook, and we've been getting really, really good feedback on it. This will be the third week that we've done that. And we keep doing it because it's helping people. And if you want to be one of our next contestants, if you will, please join us this Friday. With that, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday. Hello, it's Blur's Day. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow morning.
Bye, everybody.